I think it might be time for Gervonta Tank Davis to move up to 140, especially if he's going to have to sit around and make the Shakur fight happen and it doesn't go down. Who knows? Now that Shakur's with Matchroom and Eddie Hearn, who knows how long it could really take to make that fight happen. I don't know the reality of it going down real soon because obviously Shakur Stevenson is fighting Cordina, and not exactly the fight we asked Shakur for, not the fight that we all wanted to see him in, because there's only one fight that I want to see Shakur Stevenson in at 35, and that's against Tank Davis, because no matter what, you know, people are going to make excuses about the Lomachenko fight for Shakur Stevenson. Even if Shakur goes in there and beats Lomachenko convincingly, which I think would happen at this point in Vasily Lomachenko's career, you know how the boxing crowd is going to react. They're going to say, you know, you fought him when he was old. And for Gervonta Tank Davis, the Lomachenko fight, I think he might even get more hate because people said that he and Loma should have fought years back. And maybe that's true, but at the same time, I always tell people that when it's a passing of the torch fight, you know, you can't necessarily say that both fighters were at their best. One fighter is going to be older and the other one might be too green. So it's just, it has to have somebody worse off in that case. You know, one of the boxers is going to be in a worse position than the other. So there are always going to be excuses. That's just the way the sport is. I would still like to see Lomachenko in the mix. I just have a feeling that he's going to retire soon. So if he does end up fighting again and we get one more fight out of Vasily Lomachenko, I think Shakur Stevenson is a safer fight for him. But the big money fight would obviously be Lomachenko and Tank. I think that's the fight where both guys are going to make a lot of money when it comes to pay-per-view sales. I think Lomachenko and Tank should do well on pay-per-view buys, but I think having Tank and Loma go first would boost that future fight with Shakur and Tank. Not saying that I don't want to see Tank and Shakur now. You guys know that's the fight I want. But if we can't get it, you know, why not have Tank and Lomachenko go at it to make, you know, that the winner of that fight versus Shakur just becomes a way bigger fight, you know, than it was before. So I'm not mad at that. I would be really happy to see Vasily Lomachenko put himself in the mix with a lot of these younger guys. He's getting counted out now because he has multiple losses. Obviously got the Kambosos stoppage, but Kambosos is a big, you know, step and jump under the likes of a guy like Gervonta or a guy like Shakur Stevenson, and that's no disrespect. I just feel like Kambosos caught, you know, Teofimo at a vulnerable moment in his career, and I think that played into his advantage. It played into his cards. Not to say that he didn't win the fight. You know, I thought he won the fight, but I also feel like that Teofimo Lopez wasn't where, you know, he was nowhere near his best form. So it's just like when you take that into account and then you put Kambosos against Lomachenko, I'm going to pick Lomachenko to beat Kambosos because I just don't think Kambosos is on, you know, the level of Lomachenko. He's definitely not on the level of, you know, Tank and Shakur where they're in their primes and they beat a lot of fighters. I wouldn't mind seeing, you know, Shakur and Kambosos if it has to come down to that. You know, if Shakur really can't get a Tank fight, but that's really not the fight that I'm looking for. I'm looking for Tank and Shakur Stevenson because at this point, it's like, if it's not Shakur Stevenson, why not just move up to 140 and then fight, you know, a bigger name at 140? There are a lot of guys there now that, you know, Isaac Cruz, I don't, like I always say, you know, I don't really care to see that as much because Rayo derailed the plans of a rematch between Tank and Pitbull Cruz, and now I think it's kind of, it's not even controversial. There's not really a debate anymore about what Isaac Cruz is. You know, he's an exciting fighter, has an exciting style, but when he fights somebody that knows how to box and move around the ring, he's not going to be able to, you know, cut the ring off for one, and he's not going to be able to use any of the fundamentals. He's not going to throw a jab out there. He's just going to throw haymakers and hope something lands. And if you don't have the footwork to get out of the way, you don't have the IQ to stay calm and preserve energy when, you know, these haymakers are coming, then it's going to be a tough night for you. But if you do have those abilities and you do possess the traits to really box and move, I feel like if you're solid, you know, Pitbull Cruz isn't going to be able to beat you. And I think Tank, you know, I always say that Tank was injured in that fight against Pitbull Cruz prior to, you know, people always say it was the moment that in that infamous clip where Tank throws an uppercut and, you know, Isaac Cruz blocks it, and they say that's when he hurt his hand, but I beg to differ. I think he hurt his hand before the fight even happened, and then, you know, re-aggravated it you know, during the actual fight. So what I'm trying to say is just like Gervonta beats Isaac Cruz in a rematch. You know, like I don't like beating around the bush and I'm not trying to take away credit from Isaac Cruz for what he was able to do against Tank in the first time they met. But I just feel like, you know, no one's going to disagree with me when I say, you know, Tank's going to beat him, you know, easy if they were to fight again. And Tank barely used his left hand throughout, you know, more than half of that fight. So just to see them fight again, it just doesn't interest me as much. But if it's not, you know, at 35, there's not much more. If it's not Lomachenko or Shakur, you know, he's got to move up, because there's no other notable name at 35 that would give him any real credit. Not that Isaac Cruz would, but now that Rayo's a champion, that's a big fight. Maybe Teofimo Lopez fights again at 140. That's another big fight. Maybe Devin Haney stays at 140. Unlikely, because Devin Haney, in my opinion, can't really make 140 anymore. At least, you know, he can make it, but he's going to kill himself to make 140, and it's just not good for him. It's not good for, you know, his age, especially with the punishment that he took against Ryan Garcia, to get that dehydrated and then fight a guy like Tank. You're getting hit by those shots. You're not going to recover as much. You know, I don't know who it's harder between, you know, that Ryan Garcia left hook and that Gervonta Davis left hand. But to be honest, like, for Devin, I just don't like him against a big puncher. I've been telling you guys that whenever people talk about who should Devin Haney fight next, I feel like he's got to explore his options. I feel like he's got to be smart, fight a boxer. Not cherry pick, but at the same time, fighting somebody with power just isn't in Haney's best interest in a comeback fight. Yeah, like, it's just not. You know, I don't want to see Devin in there for his return fight against a big puncher. It's a bad idea. It wouldn't be, like I said, in his best interest. He should go against a guy that can box and prove that, you know, he's still there mentally and physically. But even Shakur Stevenson is an okay fight. That's a competitive fight, but at the same time, like, Shakur is probably not going to hurt Devin. He might, you know, beat him up a little bit, but I don't think he's going to hurt him the way that Ryan Garcia hurt him, or the way that Tank could potentially hurt Devin Haney if they were to fight. And that's still a fight I want to see between Devin Haney and Gervonta Davis. But let me know in the comments, do you guys think it's time for Gervonta Tank Davis to move up to 140? Because if it's not, for me, if it's not Shakur Stevenson or Vasily Lomachenko, I say Tank moves up to 140, stops wasting his time at 35 fighting nobodies, and then get a notable name at 140, because I think he can beat a lot of those guys. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. But as always, thank you guys for watching. I'm really enjoying, you know, getting back on the grind with these YouTube videos. So thank you guys for the constant support. Comment down below what you guys want me to talk about next, and who you guys got between, you know, Tank and Shakur when they do fight. But thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Peace. That's going to do it for another Naz Fight Media video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy, Matt Nabong, with another video. Hope you guys enjoyed it all. Thank you guys for the constant support. Salute to y'all always. It's been your boy.